Welcome to the Football Show on PLZ Soccer, sponsored by Arnold Clark. I'm Peter Martin. On the show with me tonight, as ever, Ruffy is here and his able assistant is Hugh MacDonald of the Daily Mail. Yep, it's a Scottish special for us. Easy for me to say. I can tell you we're celebrating. We're staying at the home of Scottish football, which is Hampden, and we're also celebrating a victory. There we are. Isn't it great to be talking about a Scottish victory? Yes, it was 2-0 against Albania. Let's get the thoughts, first of all, of Alan Rough. He was there. I was there on a very rain-drenched night at Hampden Park.
Yeah, it was a fantastic night. I think it was everything we asked for on the front foot for most of the game, right for the very, very start. I think if you cast your mind back to the start of the game, it was just get the ball into their half and let's keep them there for the first 10-15 minutes, and that's what we did. Created lots and lots of chances. I would like to have seen us scoring a goal in open play. I thought we had a lot of good stuff, but we'll take the goals as they come. And it's amazing when you get a win like that, you know, how much it puts a smile on everybody's face, and a lot of wee things you can improve on in the game, but on the whole, I think a pleasing night for Alec and the players. Yeah, well, certainly Alex McLeish got more than a few people surprised by his team selection with Johnny Russell and Stevie Naismith and no Lee Griffiths. But when you get a 2-0 win, the manager says he felt vindicated.
I work with players every day. I see them. You guys don't. So I think I'm pretty well qualified to select who I choose to. And I felt that these two done really well for us, Johnny Russell and Naisy.
Well, I'll tell you one thing, he showed he's got a bit of backbone about him in some of the decisions last night, Hugh.
Yeah, that's one part of the body that you can see he's got about him. He certainly put it all in the line yesterday. When I saw the team sheet, I actually thought that he would go with a team very similar to the team that started against Belgium. Because I thought that's what he's putting out his best team, and then he'll substitute him as the Belgian game goes on. So no, he sat down, he's watched training, and he said there's things we've got to address here, and we're going to address it. And by the way, he did the same at half time, nothing each at half time. He didn't sit in his hands in. He said no, let's be more aggressive. Armstrong came on. I'm really pleased for him because I like it when there's no surprise that you know I like Alec McLeish. Anybody that's been around him in Scotland knows his pedigree. But I like a manager who's aggressive, you know, who goes out and says, I've got to do something to win this game. And that's what he did. And remember, we're all sitting now down there, and he's sitting in that lovely press conference pouring his water and everyone's happy. If it goes the other way, it's a real crisis, Peter. If they don't get the 3 points, Scotland didn't get 3 points last night, and I'm not exaggerating, that's a crisis. Now it's glad, confident morning. Yeah,
well, of the positives, Ruffy, I really was pleased for Stephen O'Donnell. I thought he gave us something totally different in the right back position that we haven't had for a while. And also, I like Johnny Russell. I thought he put himself about, like Naisy, you know, run himself into the ground. I still have my little reservations that I think John McGinn's got a bit to go. I thought he gave the ball away at times where we would have been punished by a better side.
Yep. Yeah, better sides. If we were up against the top quality sides, you know, you could see that we are still a wee bit naive, you know, and going forward we're giving away possession a lot. Unfortunately enough, they weren't as good as the top sides and never capitalised on it. But you're right, O'Donnell was one of the names on the team lines that I thought maybe took everybody by surprise. But Alex looked at the situation and he knows getting down the flank, somebody from a full-back position getting in there into dangerous areas, and he's been doing it at club level, so he's not asking them to do anything else. But the thing I thought for I think it was 15-20 minutes of the second half, where I saw Kieran Tierney doing the first overlapping centre half.
Yeah.
Because for a back three, a left-sided back three centre half, he was charging up and down that part, and I've never seen a defender doing that. No, playing in that rigid three man at the back. He was going bombing forward as if it was just that's what he does.
Although I have to say, you know, there were a few scary moments, Hugh.
Well, the classic moment is, and listen, this is not Alec McLeish's preserve. Every manager after a great result or a great run, you can ask Alec Ferguson, for example, what's your greatest attribute, and he'll tell you, luck. I was lucky. Because everybody needs a bit of luck.
Yeah.
But if Albania score with that chance that McGregor stands up to it and kicks round the post, if they score then, it's a difficult night. It's one each. The balloon goes down. Could be pandemonium, but they didn't. They didn't. Let's be honest about that. But Alec will say, well, that vindicates me playing McGregor as well.
Yeah, I think McGregor's number one, Ruffy. Just briefly on that, do you share that?
Save. He has the mark of a good goalkeeper is when you have nothing to do, you make a save. It doesn't have to be a great save. It doesn't have to be, just make the save. And as you said there, that save gave everybody a lift to go on and get the second goal, because if it had went in, as Hugh said, the players would have had to have reacted, the supporters were certainly have reacted, and then these teams, we know these teams, if given the chance, they can just all fall back behind the ball and make it very, very difficult for you. So that save, although I thought it was a really good, impressive performance, the save made it for me.
Yeah.
And he is number one because that was the number one decision yesterday. I mean, I know Alec had said, "Oh, give one game and gave Craig one game and gave Alan the next one." The game he gave Alan was the game. He's in pole position for number one.
Yeah, and I say again, and I've listened to a number of people belting out, must-win games and friendlies, which, what a ridiculous situation to have to listen to that nonsense, because quite simply, the manager himself said, you've got to judge me on games that are competitive, and he did point out to quite a lot of people that this is a work in progress.
Rome wasn't built in a day, and I think the important thing is people were talking about my win ratio being under pressure. I'm not bothered about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I think he's sensible. I'm not bothered about people. Giving him pelters for friendlies, Ruffy. You don't remember friendlies.
No, and the other thing about it as well, I mean, we all, not everybody, but a lot of people were critical about the South American trip and saying it's a waste of time. We wouldn't have had Johnny Russell if that's what that South American trip had been on, because they called him over because he was over there.
And Stephen O'Donnell.
And Stephen O'Donnell. So we said that if he goes over there and one or two people shine or get a chance, and that's all he's looking for. And he's right about the results. That's what we're all going to sit here and judge him on the next game against Israel and the next game after that. And Alec's been there before. He's been through it, so he knows exactly what he's got to do.
The friendlies didn't do him any favours, of course. We know, we can sit here soberly and say how much they matter, but he was given an incredible run of friendlies. I mean, you wouldn't have given your worst enemy that run of friendlies, including the match against Belgium to prepare for an Albania match. I mean, what preparation that was for the match against Albania would be zilch. You're playing against a different system, a different quality of player.
And yet the Scotland captain, former Scotland captain Barry Ferguson said, players will learn more from coming up against better players. He preferred that. I'm not saying Barry's the light, the way, and the truth.
No,
but when you ask
I can accept that, but I can accept that, and he would know.
I know what you're going to say. I wouldn't want to get into that game last night after the 4-0 defeat.
That's what I think.
Yeah.
I think if you're a footballer, this would be my attitude. Everybody knows that this Albania game is almost like 90 minutes of judgment day.
Yeah.
Right? And we can all be relaxed about it now because we won 2-0. It's judgment day, and there'll be an anticipation building up. And I reckon that if the Scotland team are sitting in press conferences on Saturday and Sunday, having beaten Malta 3-0, or Kazakhstan 4-1.
Yeah.
They've been a better place than they were having been beaten by Belgium 4-0.
And I don't want to jump on and try and justify all this, but obviously there are other mitigating circumstances in there. You know, the stadium, do they take it to a smaller stadium? They're in the middle of waiting to say where they're either going to play at Murrayfield or Hampden, which we're about to come to. But over and above that, 3 points, top of the table on the goal difference on this. Plus, of course, he was asked last night if he felt confident enough that they could go to Israel and win.
It's never easy going away. I can speak personally in a trip to Israel a long time ago, and we were absolutely battered in the first half. People, Kenny McLeish and that in the team, and Kenny Burns, Willie Muller, and then we changed it slightly at half time and got a Kenny McLeish winner. Such a tough game.
Yeah, Ruffy, did you play in that game?
Yeah, I certainly did play in that game. I don't want to do a Gordon Smith, but I've got the Man of the Match award in my house. Yes, 1-0.
Man of the match in the win against Israel.
Yeah, absolutely hammered.
After Dalglish scoring the goal.
Yeah, absolutely hammered as the first half.
Yeah?
Yep, hammered as the first half, and Kenny got the goal.
I can remember it as well. Yep, I remember it.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, you know, that's a confidence builder. Alec knows he's only going to be judged on the results. It's as simple as that. So I think we can top this group. I just think
so
we
as
need
well.
to work out. There's two worries I've got, Hugh, and you tell me if you share them.
Right.
I still think we, you know, apart from taking too many touches, I still think we're going to struggle for goals. I don't see, you know, I'm not looking saying Griffiths is going to be a saviour or the Johnny Russell-Naismith combination. I wonder where we're going to score goals, and I still think we're suspect at the back.
I agree with you on both counts, but I don't think both counts are crucial in this group. Because I think we're of a level at this group that we will create chances at this level, and we will convert them because of the amount that we create, because we created an awful lot of chances last night, particularly from set pieces, and I think we are not going to be as exposed as we would have been at a higher level. I mean, we go back to the McGinn thing, excuse me, everybody was raving about his performance, you know, blah, 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 but the two balls he gives away, as is clearly shown on Friday with Dembele and Hazard, if he gives them away at top level, we're done.
We're done.
We might not be done if he does that in Israel. There's a bit of leeway there.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a bit of leeway. And what you've got to look at is that Israel at best are on a par with Albania. Might be slightly worse because Albania beat them at home. So I think we've been in this programme, we've been talking up this Nations League since it started, saying, wake up everybody, this is a real shout for us. Yeah. And I'm really confident. I mean, even in, you know, talking before this game and after the Belgium game, I was confident it would be Albania. We're a better team than Albania and Israel. Well,
I'm delighted that the Nations League has been concocted to bring out the best in you because, you know, Ruffy, we're talking, what, are we 18 months back, and it was Mr. Doom and Gloom under Gordon Strachan. I mean, it was just Mr. Negativity, Ruffy. This is the new Hugh McDonald here.
I think it's because we've got a chance. Yeah. I think if we go back to Gordon as well, and I don't know if I want to revisit, I think what Alex done that Gordon didn't do is that Gordon never took a chance. Gordon always made the decision. He had to be convinced to make the decision. There's no way last night that Gordon Strachan team would have started with Johnny Russell and Stephen O'Donnell. Just wouldn't. There's no way he'd have played two up front. We've got to remember that Gordon was always a manager, for right and wrong. Yeah. He always picked a guy about 3 months after everybody says he should have picked him. I'm talking about, and there's good reasons for it, but Griffiths, Robertson and even Tierney all came into the team a bit later. Alec now looks upon things as, and there's reasons for that as well, maybe personality-wise, Alec is more open to just going, you're in.
Yeah. The other thing about it is in the rest of the groups, there's nobody in the groups that we should be frightened about.
Exactly.
There's no big names, there's nobody, there's no Italy's or Spain's are going to...
Well, this is, I mean,
respect, by the way, there's a slightly difference here. I'm going to defend them on one count. We still don't have central defenders, but boy, we didn't have them when Gordon was the manager.
No, he didn't. I mean, there's the same problems persist. Yeah. And the other thing is, I was harsh on Gordon Strachan, but this group, compared to the groups that Gordon Strachan had, I mean, it's night and day. I mean, you're playing, You're playing against Israel and Albania for a place in the playoffs in this competition.
Yeah.
Gordon at one time was playing against Poland, Germany, and the Republic of Ireland for a place.
And you can guarantee the last game that we're going to play was going to be in Italy.
Or whatever, yeah.
But the other pleasing thing for me last night as well, if you look at the bench, bench was relatively okay. McTominay, Armstrong.
He did well when he came on.
Yeah, McTominay had an immediate impact.
He did well.
The bench looked okay, you know.
Okay, so we got to win. Long may it continue, as Alec said there. You know, he's trying to build a wall, not paper over cracks. So let's see if he can continue to build that wall. We need the foundations in, and then some hope and expectation. If Hugh McDonald is filled with hope, so am I on this one. You know, we've changed this year. It must be the new studio. Okay, let's see what the hope and expectation is like now with the decision today confirmed by the SFA Chief Executive Ian Maxwell that we will be staying at Hampden. This, of course, down to a number of contributing factors. £5 million has helped Queen's Park come to the decision to sell Hampden to the SFA, and the terms of agreement, the heads of that terms have been agreed. They've just got to, you know, go into the nitty-gritty of it, and then it's all about us staying at Hampden. Was it a close call? Here's the Chief Executive.
It was incredibly close. I've sat in board meetings that got heated. It was close. It was very hotly debated. As I said, SRU put forward a very compelling case. I would have really enjoyed going to work with them at Murrayfield. I think we would have done well there, and I think we would have learned a lot from them as an organisation. I think, as I said, ownership is the game changer. You know, that's something that, you know, owning our own stadium and being able to utilise that 24/7 as much as we possibly can gives us a real opportunity to make changes.
Thank you to Lord Willie Haughey on behalf of everyone in the most densely populated area in Scotland, that Glasgow and Hampden Park is the home of Scottish football. Hugh McDonald.
Yeah, and for me, the right decision, Peter. We haven't had our views on this programme. I think it's a difficult decision. I don't think it was a stone waller. I actually thought for myself, once it got between Hampden and Murrayfield, it had been decided. I thought that I think this has all been kind of like music of the X Factor, and, you know, coming out, and the winner is, and music, and the lights get dim.
Yeah.
Because I think once it came between Murrayfield and Hampden, I think it would have been. Oh, it'd been a shocker for the taking it to Murrayfield for me.
Well, funnily enough, Ruffy, he said it was a key element, the £2.5 million that Willie Haughey put in, but it wasn't the overriding factor in this. There was a lot of other things that we know, having, you know, talked to people from Queen's Park. You've done it yourself. You know, they had their own agenda at one end. The SFA were playing, you know, the game of poker at their end as well. You know, it was touch and go.
No, I think you're right with what you said at the sign. I think Willie Haughey cushioned the blow.
Oh, aye.
You know, because if you're talking about £5 million, that's an awful lot of money. If Murrayfield, by all accounts, put up a fantastic case, they've got professional people in to throw their weight behind it. They obviously had a financial clout behind it. But at the end of the day, Murrayfield's not any better than Hampden as a park. It's the same sort of a style. It would have the same atmosphere. And Hampden is the history of our game. You just have to walk into the museum, see all the games down through the 100-odd years that have been there. We are a football team playing in a football stadium. If you move to Murrayfield, you're now playing in a rugby stadium.
Yeah, and of course, there are problems with Hampden, but it was the burning question after the decision was made. Is there a plan in place to redevelop the old stadium?
There is no doubt that, you know, Hampden needs to be improved. We're not going to hide from that. I'm not going to hide from that. I think whether that's, you know, outside the stadium in terms of pre-match, what we can do to enhance the matchday experience, what we can do when we're inside the stadium bowl, what we can do from a seating perspective. This is very much the start of a journey for the Scottish FA to make the Scottish National Stadium the best it can possibly be, and we are committed to doing that.
Okay, committed to do it. They need to find the money. They'll go to the City Council. They'll go to the government as well, put together a plan. Forget about entertaining people outside it. Work out how to strategically get the best engineers, Scottish hopefully, because they're the geniuses of the world, to bring in the seats and make that an intimidating stadium.
I think this is the £64 million question is where they're going to get money from. Now, it's all great saying going to city councils and going to governments and going to public bodies and going to the lottery, because it's going to be significant sums to do this. I know he was referencing the Stuttgart redevelopment, and I've been at Stuttgart at the games watching old BVB, and what they've done is fantastic, Peter, how they've redeveloped a stadium to have great atmosphere. But it cost a lot of money then when they did it, and it's not got any cheaper. So you're talking about substantial sums have got to be sourced. And I thought today was a very clever answer from Ian, where he said we're actively seeking this. But actively seeking it and actively acquiring it, there's a gulf there.
Well, the other part of this, Ruffy, that worried me, and we'll hear from Ian on this now, is quite simply, you know, you have games last night, 17,000 inside the stadium. There are certainly a number of games that won't attract 50,000. The only way they would is if it was like a key game for qualification. So I did ask Ian Maxwell today if there was an intention to take some of the lesser games around to other stadiums in Scotland.
There will be games when it makes sense for us to take them, whether it's round the country, whether it's depending on opposition or attendance. But as I touched on earlier, you know, we only tend to take games round the country because the attendance justifies it. I want to get us to the position where the attendance numbers justify us coming here and having every game at Hampden.
Yeah, you can't have every game at Hampden, Ruffy.
No, you can't. You would think the qualifying games would be a struggling one, but as I think it was somebody said, if you play a massive game in there and you give the supporters a winning side, they'll turn up. The Scottish supporters will always turn up. But yeah, there's going to be a lot of games where you're going to have to take it away. Not to be a disadvantage taking it away, because there are intimidating stadiums out there that no teams would come. But I think Alec knows that he has to get winning, you know, consistently now to get the supporters back on board.
I think it's interesting as well. I think that well done, Gaffer, on the question. I think a very good question and a cute answer from you, Maxwell. I think the thing about it, though, is when he alluded to earlier about the match day experience, and more, what we've got to do in Scotland is Hampden's got a lot of what we call track outside. There's a lot of space outside, and I know a lot of it's used for parking. Yeah. But we've got to make this an all-day job, you know, an all-evening job. We've got to make it that people can come directly from the town centre at 5 o'clock and get a drink outside and undercover. If it's a marquee or little huts that's got that where they can get their drink, their food.
Embrace the NFL way
absolutely.
of entertaining people.
Say to people, if you come out here at 5 o'clock at night, the game is only part of the experience. You will have this, we'll have that. And you can bring your kids on. It's not a bevy session. We'll have food for them. We'll have things for them. We'll have interactive stuff where they can beat up Alan McGregor, Alan Ruff hologram. They could even beat Alan Ruff. Yeah. We could go and just beat up Alan Ruff. Yeah. But you know what I mean? Just think outside the box and say to them, what we've got to do here is we can't rely in a way where me as a kid or as a young man, we just went to the football. That's what we did. Yeah. That's not it. We've got to attract people to football.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got to give everybody in Scotland who comes to Hampden the same type of feeling that Ruffy gets when he goes to Hampden. Starter, main course and a sweet, couple of beers, and then, of course, a taxi to take him home. If we could all get that at Hampden, we'd have 50,000. It's as simple as that, folks. But what was it like, Ruffy? Don't bother telling us. Find out another day. Thanks to Ruffy and to Hugh McDonald for talking with us on the programme. Give us your view on YouTube. Give us your view also on our Twitter and our Facebook at plzsoccer.com. And don't forget, subscribe to PLZ Soccer's YouTube channel, and you can see the programmes Monday to Friday. From all of us here, good night.